Hi, and welcome, Hope RX agents. We're going to be doing a short little training class here today on walking into your local doctor's office. As you guys know, we have doctor's offices all over the country, and this presentation is going to teach you how to walk right in the front door of a doctor's office, make them your ally, and have them start passing out your Hope RX cards. We have a special guest here today with Dan Randino out of our Southern California location. He has personally visited in probably a little over a year, over 1,000 doctor's offices. So he's going to be explaining to you guys and teaching you guys how to walk into your local doctor's office and get them to start passing out your Hope RX cards. So at this time, it'll be about 10-15 minutes. So at this time, I'll turn it over to Mr. Dan Randino and let him explain to you guys and teach you guys how to walk into a doctor's office in your local area.
Okay, thanks, Kevin. I appreciate it. Hello, agents. What I'd like to do now is, before we actually go into the doctor's office, I want to do what's called a pre-call planning. What you're going to do is you're going to organize yourself. You're going to make a list of physicians in a geographical area. The best way to do that is to find a hospital in the area you're going to concentrate on. And in the perimeter of that hospital, there are going to be a number of medical facilities, a number of medical offices. You want to go online, find out who those offices are, who those physicians are, and make a list of them. Then you can go on to MapQuest, and MapQuest will align those doctors in order for a route for you so that you won't have to waste your time driving around and wasting your gas money. So that's the first thing you want to do, is you want to organize where you're going to go, who you're going to talk to, save yourself some money. The next thing I want you to do is to bundle your cards. And by that I mean wrap your cards in a rubber band, say of 25, 50 cards at a time. That's going to benefit you that when you go back to an office, you'll know how many cards you gave them the first time, how many cards they're going to need the second time. So before we even get into the doctor's office, we want to do just a little bit of pre-planning, get ourselves a little bit organized. When we show up at the doctor's office, I want you to just relax. Don't be nervous. Enjoy this experience. Enter the office with your cards already in your hand. If you notice, our little buddy here has the card in his hand, face up, facing the person he's going to talk to. The card's not upside down, it's not backwards. As he walks into the office room, into the waiting room, he's going to observe what's happening in the office. Are there patients in the office? Are they waiting to sign in with the receptionist? He's going to look around and see, are there competitive prescription discount cards? If there are, that's a good sign. That means the office staff is familiar with the cards. That means it's going to be a little bit easier for you to talk to them about the card. Another thing about the discount cards is when there's competitive cards there's nothing wrong with competition. It makes you a little bit better. It keeps you on your toes. I do want you to understand that if you see Hope cards in the office, you do not continue with your call. You can just go up to the receptionist and say, hey, here, I'm with Hope. Do you have any questions or concerns about the card that I can handle for you? If they don't have any questions or comments, then you just back off the call, leave those cards there, and exit and go on to the next call. Be respectful of the patients that are in the waiting room. The doctor's office is there for the patients. Let them go first. Let them get all the business taken care of. Let the receptionist sign them in, get everything taken care of. When everything is quieted down and you're the only one left standing, you're going to approach the receptionist or the head nurse or the office manager, whoever is there behind the counter. You're just going to go up and say, hi, I'm Kevin with Hope RX. I'm just here to drop off some prescription discount cards. First thing you're going to say to them then is, the cards are free. You want to say this first because this is going to grab their attention. Free always makes people listen. It's going to put them at ease that you're not going to try to sell them anything, put any pressure on them, and cause them any discomfort. It's also going to show them that you have a value for their patients. Then you're going to say cards never expire. Your cash patient can save up to 85–90% off their medications. The insured patient can compare the card with their copays to see which is cheaper. Something you need to understand is you need to learn the terminology of the medical field. A cash patient is a patient who doesn't have insurance. And a patient is a patient. They're not a customer. When I first went into a doctor's office, one of the first few times, and one of the first questions I was given was, does this card work only with cash patients? Well, I wasn't really familiar with the terminology, and I said, no, it'll work with people who pay with credit cards also. Of course, the receptionist gave me a look that, I had no idea what I was talking about, which at that point I did. But for your knowledge, the cash patient is a patient who does not have insurance. Then you're going to say to them, the cards are good at all major pharmacies, Rite Aid, Walgreens, CVS, anywhere in the country. This is going to show credibility on our part that we deal with top-notch companies. We're not just a fly-by-night operation. We also deal with the independent pharmacies, and that's going to come to play later on. Now, that's all you're going to have to say. 3 things. Card is free, card never expires, works at all major pharmacies. Then you're going to mention to the girl, the receptionist, that I'm going to come back in about 30 days. How many cards do you think you're going to need? 25, 50, 40, whatever she needs for the month to get through the 30-day lapse before you come back. If she tells you, give me 25, 35 cards, would you like a holder to go with that to put them right on her desk or on their counter or on their bookcases or on their tables that's in the office, whatever. Before you leave, you want to ask for a business card, thank them, wish them a great day, and move on to the next call. After your call, you want to record what happened. You want to record the physician's name, their address, any other contacts you might have gotten in that office, the office manager's name, the head nurse, the receptionist, the date of the call. You want to document how many cards you left so that when you go back in a month, you'll know how many cards to take with you. Then you want to make note of any other comments or follow-up items that might occur. For example, maybe you're in a heavily Hispanic area. Maybe they need Spanish cards. We're going to document that so that the next time you come back, you'll have Spanish cards with you, help their patients a little bit more. Maybe you want to document the hours that physician is open. They're open on Monday and Tuesday only from say, 9 to 5. One thing about almost all doctor's offices is they are closed between 12 and 2. That's when the doctor does their rounds at the hospitals. So you want to make your calls before that and then come back after 12 or after 2. Normally what I do is between the 12 and 2 hours, I will take my own lunch, and then I will go out and hit the other businesses in the area, whether they're pharmacies or little small private businesses. In 30 days, you come back, you're going to do your follow-up call. You're going to come back, you're going to restock the cards, you're going to know how many cards to take. You know you gave them 50 cards last time. You take them another 50 cards, see how many they've gone through. They have 25 left. They need 25 cards, no problem. You're going to answer any questions the staff may have. The first time through, they're just going to take your cards and you're going to be gone. The second time you come into that office, they're going to recognize you. They're not going to be really sure why you're there, but as soon as they see your card, they're going to say, oh yeah, the discount guy. And they're going to want to ask you questions. They're going to ask you, how does the card work? Even though you told them before, a month ago, they forgot. So they're going to ask you, how does the card work? You just give the card to your patient. The patient takes the card to the pharmacist. The pharmacist punches it in with the prescription into his computer, and that's all there is to it. They're also going to ask, what is the cardholder ID number that's on the card? Simply, that is just the patient's phone number. It's for the pharmacist's identification to put them into his system. We are not collecting any kind of information from the patients. Then they might ask you, do all pharmacies accept the card? And you tell them yes. All major pharmacies, Rite Aid, Walgreens, CVS, anywhere in the country, even most small mom-and-pop pharmacies. Once you have this conversation going with the office staff, you want to throw them a little incentive type idea by mentioning that the card also works on pet medications. Once you say that, and whether the receptionist or the head nurse or whoever's sitting behind the counter hears pet medications, they're going to perk up because no one or very few people have insurance on their pets. And then you can tell them, take your pet to the veterinarian, have them write you a prescription, take that prescription to the pharmacy, and save yourself some money. You will see these people become very, very interested in what you're saying. They then are going to go out and try that. And then that's going to tie them into using your card more often because they're going to see how much money they're going to save. You can also mention to them about our dental and vision program. The follow-up call is going to build credibility. Once they take that card to the pharmacist and save money, it just verifies that you're telling them the truth and that you're not giving them just a lie. At this point, I just want to explain to you that this is a very, very fun type position. These people are not going to get mad at you. They welcome you. They're glad to see you. You're there to help their patients if they're there to help their patients. But I do want to share a couple of experiences I've had in my time going around to the different offices. There was a couple of weeks ago, I walked into an office, and there were 3 girls sitting behind the counter. And they said, "Oh, we've been thinking about you, Dan. We were wondering when you were coming back." And it's like, "Why would you be looking for me?" And I said, "Well, we were almost out of cards, and we knew you were going to be coming around, and we were taking bets onto what day you were going to be here." Made me feel really good. They knew that I was credible in my time coming back every month. They knew I was going to have cards, and they knew I'm helping their patients. Another experience I had, I went to a clinic when I first started, and the first time in, I talked to the office manager and explained the whole program to them, and they took 100 cards from me, which was nothing spectacular, but that was okay. I went back about a month later, and they told me that they went through their 100 cards. They needed probably 200 cards this month. I said, "Great, not a problem." Well, the next time I went to this particular medical office, I was talking to the office manager, and she was telling me about all the different cards that she had, from all the RX Relief and PDR and every other Tom, Dick, and Harry that had a discount card. She opens up her drawer, and she's got bundles and bundles of discount cards in her drawer. And I said, "You don't need all those cards. Just use mine. We give the biggest discount. They give 55% off, 75% off. We give 85, 90% off." And she goes, "Okay." I said, "Give me the cards. I'll take them. I'll toss the cards for you, and I'll give you, the cards you need for the next month." She goes, "Well, if you're going to take all these cards, you're going to need to leave me more cards than the 200. I said, "That's fine. Just tell me how many cards you'd like." She said, "Well, I'm going to need about 1,000 cards." Well, I about fell over when she told me that, but I launched my car, got her 1,000 cards, brought them back to her, and she was just tickled to pink. I got rid of all my competition. I now have an office taking 1,000 cards a month and saving tons of people tons of money. I do want you to realize that it's not all hunky-dory, all peaches and cream. You are going to run into some negative situations, and I want to share one of those with you. I walked around a dermatologist's office one time and showed him the card, and the nurse says, "Those cards don't work." And I said, "What do you mean?" She says, "Well, we use that card. We gave it to one of our patients. They took it to the pharmacist, and the prescription was $400. The card only brought it down to $200. And I said, "Well, then the card did work." And the nurse says, "No, the card didn't work. They still had to pay $200 for the prescription." I said, "But the card brought it down to $200. And the girl says, "It doesn't matter if the patient couldn't afford the $200 prescription." And I just stood there like, I'm not going to fight with you, but I just saved your patient $200. How can you say the card does not work? I knew I couldn't convince this lady, so I just said, "Okay, fine, I'll just take my cards and leave." Left that office, walked directly across the hallway to another dermatologist, and just gave them another 50 cards. No big deal. So you're not going to be able to convince everybody all the time. What I do want you to understand is that your card is going to travel. You're going to see times on your reports where the card has gone from the town that you're in, maybe 3 states over, maybe across the country. As the doctor's offices use your card, as the patients use your card, they're going to tell their friends, they're going to tell their family, they're going to send them your website, they're going to send them cards, and you're going to see transactions pop up all over the place, which is really a nice feeling. That's the end of this presentation. If you have any questions, please raise your hand, and we will be right there with you. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.